Hey everybody, it's Mary. I am going to show you guys how to do a tacos and love stencil. So what I'm doing is I am going to do this for a family member. And this is a tray that the family member bought. This is for a wedding. I'm gonna go to a wedding on Saturday. And I'm trying a little bit different view, so you're not gonna see me so much tonight, but you're gonna have a different view of what I'm doing. So this is the tray that the family member bought, I think at Hobby Lobby. Let's look on the back, y'all. Okay, yeah, it says, I think it's wood pile, so it came from Hobby Lobby. And I'm gonna show you, she wants a stencil that says, all you need is love and tacos, I think is what it says. So I made it, the stencil on my stencil cutter, and I'm gonna show you what I would normally do. Hey guys, how are y'all doing? Let's see if I can see comments. I don't know why, but I can't see comments. Let me go back. Okay, y'all have to go back later. I can't see any comments tonight. I've had nothing but trouble with technology for the last 30 minutes. I've been trying to log on, and I don't know why all of a sudden I can't. So, sorry, I can't see anybody, but I will answer any questions you have. So I'm putting on my trusty little eyeglasses here, y'all, because this is hard to see. I have a big ring light up above me here. Oh, finally saw something. Hey, Miss Victoria, how are you? So I have a some vinyl here that I used in my cutter, and my family member wanted a sign on this, I call it like a serving tray sign. Those are pretty popular nowadays for weddings. So I am going to make her, which the wedding's on Saturday, so I better get busy, a sign that says, I think if I remember right, I've already cut it, it says, all you need is love and tacos. All right, so just kind of like I showed y'all in a previous video, these are the letters that I'm gonna throw away, so I'm gonna set that over here. So you can see I have my A right here, right? And then I'm going to be doing this way. There's my letter L, and you gotta kind of be careful. And I would think too, if you're gonna do this, if you have a cutter, or you're doing a stencil, making a I call this a destructible stencil. You kind of pull from the side, and you just try to pull that to where you can get the lettering part out. So I'm gonna do that. You want the middle of that L to lay there, but you want the letters to come out. So now you can start to see my word all. So there's all. And then I have a hard time seeing on this because A, my eyes are not that good, but B, I think even if you have good eyes, you kind of have to hit it at the right angle to see it. And you can see I'm just taking this pick and laying it kind of down and bringing that vinyl up. So you kind of lay the pick down and bring the vinyl up. Now I'm working on the word you right now. And sometimes you use the end of this little thing to make the end of that, the inside of that O lay down. See, I've got to kind of do it like that. Now today has been a crazy day, y'all. It's been a good day, but man, tomorrow we're going to Dallas to do some business up there. So we've been running around like a chicken all day trying to get everything done. So we can go out of town. We're just gonna be gone for one day, but you know, it's kind of a hard time of the year for us to be gone. So I'm peeling those letters out, right? And you can see all you. And then the word need and is on my next line. Need and is. But on each side of those words, you have these little, I don't know, I call them little tails. They look like little, they're just decoration is all they are. So I'm gonna pull that out, about like that. And you can see I kind of get it all over my thumb, but that's all right. And I'm gonna come over here. There's that same three little tails. I'm gonna get rid of those. Like so. I'm just pulling that out. And then I didn't show, I just now saw it, but under you, just three little dots is decoration. So I think the trick to doing any stenciling of like a little saying or expression or sign, it's just in how you arrange the words and what kind of decoration. I mean, it's about the font too. But hey, Debbie, how are you? Hey, Nancy, how are you doing? I'm making a sign for Travis and Miranda's wedding, Nancy. It says all you, then it'll say need is, and then I think it says love and tacos. And so I'm pulling that out. This is that destructible vinyl, you know, that some people call it a painting mask, a paint mask, a vinyl mask. There's all sorts of words you can call it. I call it destructible vinyl. Or it's a destructible vinyl stencil, because this stencil is just going to go in the trash after we finish our project, because there's no way you're going to be able to salvage this stencil, but that's okay. That's kind of what this vinyl is designed for. So you have need, and then I just have the word is. I pull that up, and again, I'm laying the pick down and pulling up on my vinyl, like that. All right, all you need is, let me pull this up, because I'm having a hard time, y'all. Okay, so the word love is really what you want to have emphasis on, I would think, with the wedding and all. So you've got we've got love over here. By the way, I did not design this file. I got into a crunch, and you know how that goes. So I went to Etsy and bought this. It's called a digital download. So I didn't design this file. Somebody else did. I paid them to do it, basically. Because that takes time to sit there and play with the design. I just didn't have it. There's a lot of things that I have to kind of skip over because well, you know how it is. We all have to earn a living. And so you don't always have time to do everything that's in the brain. There's just not enough hours in the day. But I liked this, so I went in this and just bought it off Etsy. You can do that a lot. If you go into Etsy and you just type in SVG file, which means sizable vector graphic. For those of you that have a Cricut, you know, y'all probably are aware of that. So I have all you need is love so far. And then there's a little taco down here. Just kind of a profile, what I would call just like a little line drawing of a taco. So there's your taco. And then I've got the word and. I'm going to pull that out. And I'm going to do this. So here we go. Just kind of sit here and gently tug on that. Now, if you are an avid Cricut user or Silhouette user, then you know about this. But the trick is, too, on your cutter, is to make sure you've got your blade depth right. If your blade depth is not right, you'll never get this vinyl to pull out. It'll sit there and tear. And so you've got two hearts right here. So I'm going to pull those out. So sometimes the cutter can get messed up and you're sitting there playing with the blade depth, and it's just kind of like a sweet spot you're looking for. So all you need is love and tacos. So I'm going to pull this like so. Tacos and love are your bigger words on this because that's your focal point. So I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to work on the C right now. Hey Irene, how are you? I just really had, at first when I was getting on here, I didn't think I was going to have comments, but I now can see them. So that's good. All right. I'm pulling this up. As you can tell, you got to be gentle because you don't want to tear the part of the stencil that you want to lay there. You got to be careful. So you're just kind of sitting here. And now I've got to the part where I have tacos. And then I've got this, right? So if I turn this way, give y'all a better view. I should have probably been doing that all along. All you need is love and tacos. So who doesn't like love and who doesn't like tacos, right? So I've got this part down, and I feel pretty good about that. And this is the way it's going to go on the, I call it a serving tray. I'm not sure if that's what it really is, but that's what it looks like. So I have my stencil pulled out, and then I've got my transfer tape. So the secret about transfer tape is you've got to, I'm kind of getting up here. You probably can see my arms in the way. And even the word tacos, the O and the C and the A are all a little different. The A comes down a little more. The C and the O goes up a little higher. So even the word tacos isn't all together here in terms of the height of the bottom of the letters. So there's not a lot I can do other than just kind of eyeball and help myself and try to put the line kind of like I'm doing it under the O and the T, which to me kind of seem like they're on the same, they're about at the same place coming down. And then I just kind of sit here and lay this like this, and I got it like that. Now you can see what I have. So because I know this has got to go in a serving tray, right? Here's my serving tray. So I'm going to cut this stencil like so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, I think I'm going to just cut this stencil. My concern here is that I make sure that I cut it to where I can get it inside that tray, because the tray has sides on it. So I'll show you that in just a second. Got that. And then I'm going to cut straight along this, a little above this line right here. These guides, or the lines on my transfer, are helpful because they kind of help me when I start to lay this down on the serving tray. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. All right, so I've got that. And then I'm going to come back this way. And I'm going to cut probably about, just about like that. Okay. All you need is love and tacos. So I'm going to get my serving tray here, or sign. I don't really know if it's, I call it a serving tray, y'all. That might not be it. And you can see how my lines help me decide, right? They're gonna, I'm just gonna kind of sit here and eyeball this, right? So to where I'm making sure that my words are gonna be centered correctly on this line. This is a little squeegee. I'm just kind of squeegeeing that transfer tape on there. So I'm gonna flip this over. So I'm going to kind of eyeball it just for me to have a little bit of an idea of what I'm going to do. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to sit here and peel this liner back. This is something you can do, a way to get, you know, a really inexpensive project at your local Hobby Lobby, Walmart, whatever, you know, wherever you can find it really, and jazz it up with your own wording. And honestly, if I had more time, I would do a lot of these kind of projects. You know, including foil. I like foiling. I don't get to do a lot of it because I'm busy doing other things. Hey, Karen, how are you doing? So I'm just going to pull this liner back. And notice I'm not pulling it up in the air, am I? This is the liner. It's just going to go in the trash here in a minute. But I'm going to lay it down like that. And the trick is just to kind of make sure that none of that yellow is on my liner. So as I pull it back, if the yellow's on the liner, I've got to make sure I stop and address that. So I'm going to just kind of go slow. You don't want any of the yellow on your liner because the yellow is your stencil, and you want that stencil to stay right there on that transfer. So just like a little thing. This grid clear paper is your transfer paper. This yellow destructible vinyl is your stencil. Hey Jennifer, how are you doing? So glad you could join me. And this part that I'm peeling back is just your liner. So we're just gonna kind of pull back. And I'm having pretty good luck, honestly, with all the yellow staying on my transfer, because sometimes the insides of these letters will want to peel back on your vinyl, on your backer, and I don't want that. I'm having pretty good luck. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't, and I could kind of show y'all what to do if the yellow's on the backer, but the yellow right now isn't. Okay, see, good point right here. Y'all see this yellow right here? That's not what I want. I want that yellow to stay down on my transfer. So what you do in that case, you move it back like that and take your finger and just push really hard. I put quite a bit of pressure on there. So, and I'm almost done, and my helper will be here in just, oh, he has great timing. Bruce is gonna help me. This part is trash. That's all that is, that's the backer. So now I have my stencil. All you need is love and tacos, and Bruce is gonna, you'll just see his fingers and my fingers. And all we're doing is we're gonna sit here and we're gonna just eyeball it and making sure we feel as if we've got this kind of in the center of what I'm thinking of as a serving tray. And I think we're good there. So we're just gonna do that. And then I take my squeegee and here I go. And I'm not putting a tremendous amount of pressure, but I'm just putting some pressure on there. Because if you don't make this yellow stencil lay really, really, really flat on this board, then your paint is going to get up under your yellow stencil and your letters won't be crisp. You want to have crisp, good looking letters. So I'm just doing that. Okay, I can run my fingers across here and I can feel that stencil laying down the way I want it to lay down, so I'm good. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to take my finger and just kind of pick at that transfer tape. And remember the transfer tape? That's just this clear grid looking tape. There we go. I'm just pulling it up. And again, I want the yellow to stay on here. I don't want any yellow on my transfer tape. Hey Carla, how are you? Y'all, it's been a crazy day today. But this wedding is on Saturday, so I better get busy, right? I'm pulling that transfer tape up. Now, transfer tape is something you can use over and over if you're doing a lot of stenciling in one day, right? Just kind of going slow and pulling that transfer up. Now, because I know how I am, and I know that this is over here kind of close, and this is over here kind of close, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Bruce, will you hold that part? I have my helper here, y'all. The bestest helper in the world, right here. Okay, I'm just going to cut a piece of this, and I'm going to make sure I don't commit any boo-boos, if you will. And I'm going to lay this transfer tape all around here. Why am I doing that? Because I really sometimes get a little crazy with the paint, and I for sure don't want any paint on your project where it's not supposed to be. You always want paint exactly where the paint should be and nowhere else. So I'm going to do that same thing over here. And I'm just, basically, I'm taping it off with some transfer tape. That way, if I get a little crazy with the paint, it's all good. You don't really necessarily have to do this part, but I feel better about doing it in case I happen to make any errors. I don't know about y'all, but it is possible to make errors. All right, so I've got all that taped off. I wonder if we're gonna have tacos at the wedding. That'd be kind of good, wouldn't it? We'll see. Y'all know I'm all about eating. Okay, so I have it all taped off. And I'm going to show you. Now, I have already talked to the bride to make sure I've done my due diligence about the colors that she wants. Yeah, those are some sharp scissors. Yeah, and you know what? If you don't watch it, you can really hurt somebody with these things, Debbie. So, this, I've decided, the bride has given me the go-ahead on this brown. It's and it's basically, this is just the nutmeg that's in our paint line. Okay, so that's the nutmeg, and this is the glitter red. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you. I'm using sponges. I'm not using a roller because this is not going to use a whole lot of paint. Debbie said you better move out of the way with these scissors. You might get hurt. True that. True that. Okay, so I think a lot of the thing about stenciling is just having the patience to sit here and just kind of get some, you see I got some paint on there, but not too much. So I just kind of sit here and go back and forth or up and down and in that kind of motion. You don't want to get too much paint on there, but of course you want enough to cover it. So just ever so often, I come over here and pick up a little more paint. And I'm gonna put, most everything is gonna be in this brown. But I'm gonna use a little bit of that glitter red. Y'all, thinking about tacos is making me kind of hungry. I've been trying to like not eat as much because, well, we all know how that goes. And maybe I'm thinking about tacos, that's why I'm hungry. Who doesn't like tacos? All right, so I'm just kind of doing that bouncing motions, all I'm doing. And at first I was thinking I'm just gonna do this heart in red. But the more I think about it, I might do the red for the heart and maybe this little part down here and these two little dots. I'm not sure, we'll see. And it's just about picking up some paint. You don't want too much on there, but you want enough. Hey Alma, how are you? And you want to just kind of, I hope you're doing good tonight. I'm doing pretty good, we've been busy, but it's been a good day. You know, the weather's just been awesome, 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 awesome. So I'm definitely gonna do that in red. And I think I might do the taco in red. Let's see. And I've got this nutmeg. There we go. And I'm just taking that paint and I'm putting it on here and then I'm kind of dabbling it back off. Ah, it is awesome weather, isn't it? Or, you know, no, she said go with brown, but you know, if I was doing this for me, I might do love in red. But since she's the one who said brown, I better do that because it's the bride. Okay, so this is why I taped it off over here. You can see, right? Because I'm close to that yellow edge and I don't want the paint getting off of there in case I get past that yellow edge. So I just do this up and down. Just kind of a pouncing motion, if you will, or a bouncing. Don't need a lot of paint. I would imagine this amount of paint will do my whole stencil. I might need a little bit more, but shouldn't be much. And we're off to a good start, y'all. The thing that I like about paint is you can just do, of course, most of the time I'm doing yard art, but there's just so many things you can do. So, you know, go get you a little tray or a little blank sign from Walmart or Hobby Lobby or wherever, dollar store, and add a little paint to it, some words, and there you go. Doesn't take much. And then I'm going to come over here. And then I think what I'm going to do, let's play a little bit with the red. So I've got some red here. So the reason I don't use a brush, Debbie, is the thing about this, you've got this pouncing motion. So you've got a sponge here, right? I don't know, that's probably about 3/4 of an inch or maybe an inch of solid surface, right? And so a brush has bristles. And even though you might take the brush and pounce it like that, those bristles are individual and it's really easy for those bristles to get up under there. So this is a flat surface, making it a lot harder for it to bleed. So, and you can tell my red is not tremendously different than the brown, but it is a little different. And I think that that's gonna be good. But that's a good question, Debbie, because normally, you know, everything I do is with a brush. But a lot of times when I'm stenciling, I will use any kind of a foam pouncer that I can find. And of course, I'm in kind of close to the brown, so it doesn't matter if the brown touches the red paint on this yellow, on top of the yellow. It just matters if the brown paint gets on my sponge and gets to where the paint gets where it's not supposed to be. So I'm trying to be a little bit careful there. And then I'll come down here and do I call this like a swirl. Put a little more paint on here. There we go. And the thing is, because I'm not putting so much paint on here, it's gonna dry pretty quick. So I think what I like is I like that red, but I would like it right here too. So I gotta be a little bit careful and just do like this. Just these 3 little swirls or dots. Okay, so so far I'm liking that red because it's a good red, but it's not like, you know, a total Santa. It's more of a little bit of a darker red. Okay, so let's go back to our brown. And I'm gonna just kind of do this pretty quick like. And I'm just doing, I think that's why they call these things pouncers. You just kind of pounce up and down. And there you go. Gonna have this done and pretty quick. I was doing a foiling project not too long ago, and I thought, you know, that's something I need to do in the Painters Club just to kind of show people what you can do with foil. Make a sign. Looks so much more elegant than just paint if you foil it. But you know, who has time to foil? I'm too busy doing other things. But in my next life, I'm going to do all kinds of more creative things that I'm going to have energy for, y'all. Because in this life, there's just so many hours in the day that you have energy for. All right, we're fixing to be at the part. You know, and I just kind of look too, because some of this is drying down here already, which is a good thing. And to make sure before I pull this stencil up, I just want to make sure I've got really good coverage. Now, y'all know me well enough to know that if I screw something up here, I'm going to get a script liner and go after it and try to fix it. But the idea is that you don't have to do that. Yeah, I don't want to forget you. Can't forget that. All right, almost done. So before I peel this up, I'm just going to kind of sit here and look at it and make sure that all my words have a lot of brown or red paint. Right where I want it. I think I'm good. I put quite a bit of paint on there, really. And I see a little bit right here. And I'm just kind of, depends on how good your eyeballs are. Sometimes mine are not too good. All right, so I'm gonna do this. I like foil too. I'm gonna have to do that one day. There's a girl that does a lot of foiling. Sometimes I watch her. And of course, you know, anybody that's doing it, they make it look so easy. Y'all probably say that about me, about paint. You know, when Mary does it, it looks easy. So when she does it, it looks easy. The girl, I'm trying to remember who it is. Her name is Jen, but I don't remember what her Facebook group is called. All right, so I'm peeling off that transfer tape. And again, you wouldn't necessarily have to put the transfer tape down. It's just an assurance, because this is the brown paint that I got on that transfer tape. So, kind of glad I put it down. Now, here we go back with my little weeder, W-E-E-D-E-R, or call it a pick, or whatever you want to call it. I really don't know what the right word is for it. I call it a pick. And I'm going to just start over here on the edge and just kind of just pick it up a little bit. Once I get that picked up, then my fingers are ready. Now I will use this probably for the inside of the letters, but we want to be very careful. I mean, obviously if I screw something up, that's not going to be good, so the goal is to not screw it up. And you know how it is, with somebody's wedding, it's a little bit more sensitive, I guess, because you don't want to mess up somebody's wedding stuff that they want, decorations. So I want to kind of be careful with what I'm doing and just gently tug and pull. That stuff will come up. This vinyl will come up. You just kind of have to sit here and mess with it a little bit. But so far so good, y'all. So you can tell the edges or the outer part of the stencil is the easy part. It's the inside that can be a little tricky to pull up, because that's where all the lettering is. That's where all the difficultness is. So, all right. All you need is love and tacos. Amen to that. So far, so good, y'all. Now, I got my pick, right? And I'm going to just spend a little time looking here to see what it is I need to do. Now, I'm going to come in here. And I don't want to scratch this this part. You don't want to scratch that, because that's part of your, I'm putting those foam pouncers, I'm sticking them over here in the water so they don't get dried out. So a lot of times what I'll do, I'll just kind of sit here, I'm going to put my glasses on, and I'm going to pull this up ever so gently to where I'm not trying because with this fine point, it's easy to scratch, right? That would be easy to scratch the background here, and I don't want to do that. But so far, so good. I think this is going to be good as far as the colors, too. I'm glad I put some red on here. Not a lot. You don't need a lot. And it's not a bright red. Just kind of a subtle red. We call it a glitter red, but really it's got a lot of brown in it. And ever so often I'll wipe, over here I'm wiping this, sometimes I'll wipe this on my skin because I don't want paint on this pick either. All right. Let's see, let's pull that up. Ooh, and I don't want it to drop on my, you don't want the wet part to turn around to flop over and drop on the sign, so you gotta be careful about that too. Sometimes I pull it up with my fingers just to make sure. Yeah, so you see the red here is not real different. It's kind of subtle, but I like that. All right, so we're gonna do the and. And I think a lot of this is just the patience to sit here and kind of be, my natural inclination is to do everything quickly. That's just what I've always been like. Y'all see me paint, sometimes I'm like, just, you know, blowing and going kind of thing. But with this, you got to be a little bit more patient because you want that paint to stay exactly where the paint's supposed to be, and you don't want that paint anywhere else. Hey, Cindy, how are you? So glad you could join me. So, Cindy, I was telling them this is for a family member for a wedding. I think she bought this at, the bride bought this at Hobby Lobby, or it might have been Michael's or Walmart or somewhere, and I made a stencil. And she actually sent me the words that she wanted, and she sent me what it looked like. I didn't create this stencil. I cut it, but I didn't create the design. I just did not have time. Really, designing anything takes a lot of time, and these days that's kind of in short supply for me. So I bought this design off Etsy, downloaded it into my cutter, and then I made the stencil based on that, using my cutter. So somebody says that they've been stenciling or they've been using their Cricut or their Silhouette. Hey, Jessica, how are you? This is, I don't really know what the right word is. I call it a weeding tool, W-E-E-D-I-N-G, or a pick. But it basically, you can get it anywhere they sell vinyl, or like for Cricut, or what's the other one, a Silhouette. And it's a pick, basically, that I'm sitting here picking up the inside of all of these letters. And to me, what makes the stencil, or any wording, and they're all over the place, almost every store you go to or every website you look at that's creative of any sort, you know, basically it's the font you choose, and then of course, you know, the way they do the things like the tail on the E of love and the tail on the L of love, and how they arrange it and all of that. And that takes a lot of time to do that. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll make these designs and they'll put them on Etsy and sell the file. And that way that they don't, you know, they may not make a lot of money each time with one person downloading it. But, you know, when you have a file and somebody downloads it, then the next day or two, somebody else, and then a week or two, somebody else. And you do that, you know, over the course of a while, you can earn a little bit of money on. So there's a lot of folks doing that on Etsy. All right, y'all. I had a little piece of paint flake off here. Y'all probably heard me swooshing it with my mouth, you know, blowing out some hot air. Now, I look at this, and I'm pretty pleased with it for the most part. Although, I do see a boo-boo down here, so I'm fixing to work on that. Let me show you what I mean by that. Yeah, hands, fingers, and elbows. Isn't that the truth? Now, you don't necessarily have to do this, but I see a little boo-boo, and y'all know how I am with the script liner, so I'm going to fix that. But because it's hard to do some stenciling and for every single thing to be perfect. But I think she's gonna like this. Like I said, she bought the tray and then she told me what she wanted on it, and I'm just doing the stenciling part. So I got a little bit of paint here, not a lot, because just a little bit's gonna go a long way. And I'm just gonna kind of come and make that fill in right there. And I'm gonna come this way. And unlike yard art, stenciling on this and doing this, I'm using a very small amount of paint. And y'all know when I do yard art, I just have lots of paint on my brush, but not for this. Okay, I think we're good. So this is my plate that I'm gonna throw away. These are all the inside of the letters, right? Those are the two colors, nutmeg and glitter red. And here we go. All you need is love. I hope she likes it. I think she will. I'm gonna make her some stencils for something that she's gonna do, but I'm just gonna make the stencils. She's actually gonna paint it on there. But who doesn't love tacos, and who doesn't love love? So I'm going to a wedding on Saturday night, and this is what will be, I think, on one of the tables or something. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Phaedra. How are you? So glad y'all could join me. I was telling them this is just a little tray that a bride, a family member, she bought somewhere, Walmart or wherever, and I stenciled it for her. I bought the file off Etsy. I didn't make the file. And then I just put the stencil in my cutter, cut the stencil, and then applied the stencil here, and then, of course, did the painting. And but I think it turned out cute. I love the file. Like I said, I can't take credit for that, but I think whoever did it, it was really, really cute. But thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all are having a good week. And I will be on Monday showing y'all how to do the glitter angels. Also, tomorrow around noon, the new items that I've cut, which I've cut some glitter angels, they will be at the store tomorrow around noon. And some of you are waiting for some ornaments. I cut some of those. They'll be at the store around noon. Yeah. Hey, Phaedra, I refuse to go watch TV because I know what's going to be on there, and I just don't want to hear the drama. So I would just rather be in my little art room in my own little world. And so tomorrow we'll have angels at the store if you want them. I know a number of you said you wanted a set. And then Monday, I'll be here to show you any and everything you could possibly need to know to glitter those angels and make them super cute. So hope you guys have a good one, and I will talk to you guys on Monday. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.